Who would have thought about it except us, the Black Camper Party? Welcome. My name is Chief Oju. I'm representing the nations of Africa and Boriken. I come from the working class with some petty book contradictions, and I use he and pronouns. And the chief of agitation and propaganda, as well as the chief of the Chicago chapter of the Black Hammer Party. Now, if you can hear me, please put in the comments hashtag ASMR so that I know you hear me. Okay, alright. Laying back. My little giggle was a little loud. Hopefully that didn't disturb you. Laying back, Kino. Laying back, QC. This is how we roll with the Vanguard. Let's keep on introducing ourselves. Go ahead.
I'm back, everybody. This is my first one, so give me criticisms, I guess. I'm back. My name is Watakame. I represent the Coca and Villarrica people of colonized Mexico and the poor working class. I use they them pronouns, and I am the chief of staff for the Ministry of People's Affairs. I'm back. I'm back, everyone. My name is Minister Ren. I represent the nations of Panama and Colombia. I come from a Betty Boo background, been committing class suicide, and I use they them pronouns. I am the Minister of People's Affairs, where we make sure that the people are safe from natural events or the failures of colonialism, whether that's health, whether that is from natural events where people aren't prepared for them, right? Or, even making sure that people are safe on the interwebs as well with IT. So yes, I'm back.
I'm back, y'all. I'm not gonna whisper. But I got a deep voice. I'm back, y'all. I'm Chief G. Representing the colonized people of Mexico. Come from the working class with some pretty big contradictions. I'm the chief of IT, and my pronouns are they, them. I'm back, y'all. Welcome to the show.
Laying back. I'm going to talk softly as well because I could barely hear myself if I'm whispering. And I want to make sure I hear my good political education. And so, welcome to the Vanguard. Make sure when you come into the room you like, share, and comment, alright? And subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. You are watching this from Black Hammer TV, our anti-colonial YouTube channel. And so make sure you subscribe to get the notifications as to when we go live. And so that you never miss a show, whether it's the Vanguard or the Revolutionary Book Trap or anything else from the Black Hammer Party. And so make sure you like and share and subscribe. Alright? Okay. And also, what you can do is donate. We don't have our quarters today because we use them for our laundry. And that's fine. So why don't you donate? So we can have some more laundry quarters. No, what it is about serving the people, right? We want you to donate because we're keeping our people warm this winter. We want to make sure that people have thermals, sleeping bags, anything that they need to stay warm because it's still cold here in Chicago in the middle of February. And the cold doesn't go away for a while. And so, donate. How much can they donate, Ren?
5 for shy.
You heard that loud and clear. 5 for shy. You can donate $5 to the Chicago chapter. For us to get the people prepared and stay prepared for winter. Alright? I'm still thinking about when G said, they have a deep voice and it was kind of rumbling. And I was like, oh my, I need some water, I need some water. I was getting the vapors. Goodness gracious. Alright, laying back. So, we have a lot of topics. Thank you. We have a lot of topics for you today. And so we're going to see there's been a lot of things going on in the world. And we're going to share them with you right now. And so, let's get into our first topic now. Alright?
And away from Ukraine, Donald Trump's venture, Truth Social, appears set to launch today. The app launch potentially marks the return of the former president to social media more after he was banned. Trump's new social media platform, Truth Social, is planning a gradual rollout week on the Apple Store. It is expected to be by late March. Trump has described the app as an alternative to Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. All the platforms banned him following the assault on the U.S. Capitol Hill by his supporters on January 6th last year. The former president has been accused of inciting his followers in a bid to overturn the result of the 2020 elections. Before being banned by Twitter, Trump had some 89 million followers there. He used the platform constantly, both for presidential statements and to attack rivals. Trump has hinted but never definitively said whether he will seek the presidency again. He is currently under the shadow of multiple investigations. Last week, Trump's eldest son, Donald Jr., posted on Twitter a screenshot of his father's verified Truth Social account. The startup's features would resemble those of Twitter. App users would be not able to edit their tweets. The ability to edit posts after publication is something Twitter users have long sought. The next significant feature on the platform will be direct messages. Media Technology Group, known as TMTG, is the venture behind Truth Social. It is led by former Republican U.S. Representative Devin Nunes. The group is seeking a niche in a crowded social media marketplace for conservatives. TMTG is planning to be listed in New York through a merger as it stands to receive $293 million in cash. It reportedly has a $1.25 billion treasure chest.
Laying back. And so, look who's got a new social media platform. It's Donald Trump. Donald Trump, who got banned off of Twitter, Facebook, everywhere, because he was just a little too popular. If you want to be on Truth Social, put in the comments. I think I want to be on Truth Social. I want to be on a account where, you know, I get to tell the truth and not listen to fake news and be able to, you know, not be, you know, banned for sharing my thoughts, you know. Oh, tierra y libertad arándono. Welcome to the Vanguard. And so how I see it is that Trump has, you know, he's about to really, you know, change the media game, but he might be a little bit too late. You know, some of his followers have already left him because they've been waiting too long for him to respond and be the hero and king that they want him to be. And he's coming out with this a little bit too late, but people are still gonna go. And you know, he has, you know, the balls of, you know, the Bezoses and the Zuckerbergs in his hands. If your balls sound like that, please moisturize. Yes, he has them in his hands because all these people are going to leave Twitter, they're going to leave Facebook, and finally find a place to tell the truth. Tell me, what do you think about Truth Social?
Land back. That might have been too quiet. Land back. I can't stop thinking about the last comment you made. I was gonna say, if they sound like that, seek medical attention. But no, I think it's amazing to have a place where, like, freedom of speech, you know, at least that's what it seems like, right? It's to combat that attack on freedom of speech that we've been seeing from all of these liberal social media sites. Because yeah, Donald Trump was one of the first ones to get attacked, right? Because people didn't like what he was saying, so they banned him, you know, just blatantly attacking his freedom of speech. And so, you know, this is how he's fighting back, and I think
It's giving everyone we'll see, right? We'll see. Because it could just be that it's going to be a platform for people to say what they want them to say, right? Because it could be the other side of an attack to freedom to speak. We'll see. We'll see if it's actually we're actually able to tell the truth, or whose version of the truth will be permitted on the website, right? But I do think it's cool that you can edit, because we've been wanting that forever from Twitter. So yeah, I think, we'll see.
Yes, I'm excited about that edit feature too. Rand, what do you think?
I'm back. I think it's really cool too. I think it'll be really awesome to see whether or not Trump will use this platform to continue to stand against the jab or stand with the jab, or if he's gonna come out and be like, oh, never mind, I'm against it. Because that's all his followers have been really wanting, is for him to be against it, right? So, that's another example of how, if you really stick with what you believe in, your followers are with you, right? And Trump did not do that. I really do think that he just took him where the money was best. But we'll see. We'll see. But yes, I think freedom of speech is really important, and the liberals have really done a terrible job of making sure that they've attacked it over and over again, right? And I think that is what is going to cause some problems here in the near future. So we'll see what happens.
And Cheem, if you think we all have soothing voices, then you're gonna love to hear Chief G talk about Truth Social and how many friends they're going to have on there.
Well, I'm back. I'm really, really excited for this. I miss Trump tweets. I'm not gonna lie to you. They were real good, Trump knows how to roast a liberal, and and that's I'm all for that. I'm all for that. But no, in all seriousness, this, making an app like this, I feel like it's long due for sure. I think Trump had the money to do this way back. He could have been developing this. If he was a little smarter, he would have developed this towards the end of his presidency, so that as soon as he got kicked out of Twitter, it'd be like, hey. But yeah, no, I really like what you were saying, Ren, that it'll be interesting to see if his take on the jab will be the same, or if it'll be truthful now. Now that he'll have actually control over his media, which is what we want. You know what I mean? I respect that. I respect him having control over his media and being able to speak what he want to speak. Because I'm done with these tech companies having to say about everyone. No, liberals and all these Mark Zuckerberg. I'm done with them. They gotta and yeah, they are scared because they know that a big part of the population here in the Snakes will probably support Trump's app, and if it actually gets momentum, if it's a good app, not buggy, that kind of thing, it might actually be really good. Maybe it'll be a good competitor to Gab type of thing. We'll see. But point being, I'm excited. I'm gonna make my account as soon as it drops, in a couple weeks.
It drops today.
Oh, it drops today? Oh, interesting. Land back, y'all.
Land back. And so, if you want to make your True Social account and get back to this Trump tweet world, you better get on there. I wonder what they're called. Are they called truths? I just truth something. I have a truth thread. Retruth. I don't know. What's the language for this app? I can't wait to find out. But yes. So, laying back. And like I said, if you missed it, Trump really has the, balls of these social media, kings like Zuckerberg in his hand. So, make sure you stick with the story and find out. All right. We're going to have a little ASMR break in between our stories just to give you some ear tinglies. We all know you love them ear tinglies. And so, yes, you'll begin. That was wonderful. Wasn't that nice? All right, Chief G, let's go to our next story.
Kanye West is taking on Apple and claiming he's making big bucks on this exclusive STEM player, all while he's legally objecting Kim Kardashian's request to be single.
No more photos, no more logos, no more chocos, we on Bezos.
Ye had announced his new album Donda 2 streaming exclusively on his branded STEM player. Well, on Friday, he posted that he has sold more than 6,200 STEM devices in the past 24 hours, with sales totaling over $1.3 million. He stated, "That's faster than I've ever sold any. God has a plan, new frontier." He also touted he rejected big bucks from other services at a Netflix event. He stated, "I got by Larry Jackson to put Don, never got a meeting with him. Look. So it ain't about the money, about our respect collectively." He's also asking for respect from Kim. She's legally filed to be declared single and he's objected. The docs reportedly asked that their custody and property agreements be settled first. He also requested that Kim waive marital privileges. Marital privilege allows spouses to conceal conversations between them and also not have to testify against each other or serve as a witness. You can find more at thehollywoodreporter.com. For THR News, I'm Tetris Kelly.
Let us know in the comments if you got a STEM player. I know I don't. Because it's $200. But you know what? A lot of people do have $200 still. All the people who still ain't got their PS5, probably like, I might as well get a STEM player now. Because, because of this shipping crisis and colonialism, that PS5 ain't coming in the next 5 years. The parts aren't there. The shipping containers are in the middle of the ocean. They're catching on fire. Did you hear about the shipping container full of Porsches and Volkswagens that caught on fire? Your PS5 is on fire too. So you might as well buy a STEM player. So this STEM player, y'all. So lots of people are upset because they're saying, I don't want to pay $200 for Kanye's album. But Kanye ain't really selling his album. Of course, music, we can get that on YouTube and just make MP3s, allegedly. But no, Kanye's selling a whole new device to mix music. And when I went on the website, because, I'd be on the bandwagon and be like, okay, what's Kanye doing next? And I saw it and played the video and we're like, whoa, like this thing really can mix music so cool and differently and easily. And all I can imagine was all my students being around like with their STEM players mixing music. That's all I could think of when I saw it. And of course, I don't want our colonized children spending all their money to make a petty blue person richer. But it does introduce a whole new technology, a hand technology, into the game. You can't probably hold your phone and your STEM player at the same time. And so, and Kanye is really separating from all these big companies. He's trying to say, I'm going to do something different, And I don't know, it's a combination of feelings I got. Like, okay, like, he's showing that these other companies don't have to be the only way, but at the same time, he's showing that his rich way is still the way, his individual way is still the way. And so, what can it teach our people is the question I have. And yeah, we could talk about that. What does this teach our people? Go ahead, Watakami.
I'm back. I feel like my voice sounds different every time I speak. That's okay. No, I'm back. I think it's a common theme we're seeing, right? Like all of these billionaires get a little pissy, they get a little angry with the big man, and they try to go and do their own thing, right? We just heard about the Truth app, got a little mad, got a little upset, threw a tantrum, and built their own, right? Get a little Kanye, not surprised. And I think like that really just shows what you can do when you have access to the people's resources, right? Because currently they have access to our resources, and so they're using that to step away from the big man, the white man, but to just be a different version of that same thing, right? It's not that they're mad that someone is calling the shots. It's they're mad that they're not the ones calling the shots. And I think that really shows colonized people like the possibilities of what can happen when we have our resources, because when we get to call the shots, right? No one lives at the expense of another. No one has to pay $200 for anything, especially not something like a music's like whatever type of thing. Like we can spend all of our resources for the good of the masses, right? For the good of each other, for the good of our nations. And I think that's something I just keep thinking of, because like the only reason they can do this is because they're looting us. They are looting our labor, our land, our resources, our literal lives are being taken just for them to have this little like pissy fit about who gets to call the shots. And no, Dad, I don't want to listen to you, so I'm gonna make my own thing, right? No, I don't want to curfew, because well, like that's all this is, y'all. That's all this is, and it's our people that get caught in the middle of it, and I'm sick of it. So every time this happens, just remember those are your resources that they're playing with. Those are your lives, our lives, our people's lives that they're playing with. Black Hammer Party is here to take it back, to make sure that it's the people, the poor working class people, that get to call the shots. But yeah, I'm back.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I'm back. Sorry, I forgot my whispering voice. Yeah, I completely unite with everything that what the comments said. They really broke it down there. I do think that this also is a very big statement from Kanye, because we've seen over and over again how the liberals have attacked our freedom of speech and have attacked specific people who are speaking against certain things, who aren't complying with everything else. So it's really the only reason that they're able to make this statement, though, as what the comment said, is because they have our resources. But it shows how much the system is crumbling. It shows how much it's not just us that are upset by all of these things, but it is now even the people who have these resources, like Kanye and Trump. So we're seeing this this colony start to form even deeper and stronger divide, and I'm here for it. Land back.
Lean back. I'm here for it too. Are you here for it? If you are, join Black Hammer at blackhammer.org/join. www.blackhammer.org/join. Alright. I don't have a sound for W. Maybe I do. www. Does that sound nice? It probably doesn't. Okay, Chief G, tell us about this empire.
I'm back. Yeah, I want to point out what F. Joe Biden was saying. That, like, what was all of that like drama with Kim and Skeet? Just a publicity stunt. It might have well been, and I think it probably was. Because Kanye, like, he cared about power, right? He cared about influence more than even money. He likes to be like in people's mouths and have an influence in like culture, I think. Shut up. The devil. But anyway, I think this like STEM player thing, I feel like the STEM player is probably just like the beginning to like making a new like music app or that kind of thing. Like I feel like eventually like it'll be like on a website or something. But he's gonna start like using this to make it feel like cool and exclusive. And like I understand like it's a cool little thing, right? Like you can like bring in people's mouth. Like the STEM player thing, like it's cool that like you can mix music and you can get like the like sounds like separated, like as soon as you download an album and you can mix it however you want. Like that's fun. But of course, right, like we've politicized here, like all of that like still doesn't solve the actual problems, right? Like the actual problems that like our people don't get to like express themselves creatively unless they pay like money, or unless they already have the money to be like in that industry, right? And yeah, that's on that. But I do think though that Kanye is like probably gonna like push other like rich people to be more even more divided with all those big companies, right? But yeah, like I think Kanye is like this whole thing is creating more divisionism among the boo class, right? Like the rich people, which I'm not mad about. Like I like them being like all divided and fighting each other. Like they're gonna be distracted, like finding out about this kind of thing, so that when the revolution comes, they're not gonna know what to do. So I do like that about it. That Kanye, he don't like Spotify, he don't like Apple Music, he don't like all these big 10 companies, and I think he's trying to even like push people away from phones, like from smartphones. I feel like this STEM player thing is just like the first step. Like he's gonna have like a STEM phone type thing eventually. Like I would not be surprised. But yeah, that's all I got. I'm back.
I'm back. I might date myself a little bit, but the STEM player kind of looks like a Simon. A Simon game that lights up and you press it like a pattern. Okay, yeah, that's what it looks like to me. It's just a fancy Simon, y'all. It even makes the same beeping sounds. I'm back. Yes. And you know what, Kanye, as much as you want to personally, quote unquote revolutionize this whole music industry, remember that it's not about the music industry. It's about the system that produces a place where you have to aspire to that in order for you to have a life where you're able to eat and have a house. Of course, for you, that means multiple chefs and multiple mansions. But for the majority of people, that barely means a tin roof. And so, when it comes to changing systems, it's more than just you. It's all colonized people and the poor and working class colonized people who have to be more than props in a struggle. Because we know about you trying to make homeless people from Skid Row model for your runway shows. So that's my 2 cents on it. There we go. That's the bell that says time's up, Kanye. Let's get into our next story.
A night in Portland is drawing national headlines as gunfire leaves 1 person dead and 5 others hospitalized, according to Portland police. It happened at the intersection of Northeast 55th and Hassalo Saturday night. Police say their preliminary investigation indicates it began as a confrontation between armed protesters and an armed homeowner. Moments later, shots rang out. Last night, police told us arrests had been made, but they're now backing away from it. Fox 1 McCarthy, the close nation stands tonight and shows us the tense scene this afternoon when protesters were allowed to take over a police news conference.
More than 12 hours after a mass shooting here at Normandale Park, there's still evidence of a chaotic night. On the ground, right over here, as well as medical equipment from paramedics to help treat the wounded. Behind me, the park is calm today with families and dogs joining a Sunday afternoon. Now this compares to last night when there was chaos.
What started off as a peaceful protest erupted in gunfire Saturday night.
Responding with police in a 32-27 Bravo shooting at Northeast 55th and Hasselo.
A group gathered at Normandale Park around 7 p.m. to march against the killings of Amir Locke and Dante Wright at the hands of police. The plan was to start the march at 8, but at 8:01, that's when gunfire started. Portland police say a woman was shot and killed and 5 others were hurt. Investigators say the shooting stemmed from a confrontation between armed protesters and an armed neighbor. Portland police did not say whether or not that neighbor was taken into custody or if anyone was taken into custody, despite what they told reporters on scene last night.
Like I mentioned, it very complicated, very intricate, and as we learn more, things change. At this point, I cannot comment on, it would be irresponsible of me to comment on arrests that were made.
Before that virtual press availability, an in-person one was held outside of their central precinct in downtown Portland. 2 minutes in, angry protesters swarmed the area.
They were investigating and addressing...
Hey, press! Guess what? You guys want to talk about how a white supremacist kidnapped me?
Many were voicing their frustration at how police have been handling the response to the shooting. Some claimed to have been at the protest Saturday night, but when asked for interviews, they declined to go on camera. Police and protesters at the scene left without talking with detectives. But some did return to Normandale Park Center for a vigil in honor of the woman killed they say was a pro-night. Police still have not confirmed if the victims were protesters, but city leaders, police chief Lavelle, they're closely. Multnomah County District Attorney Mike Schmidt said his heart goes out to all those impacted by gun violence over the last few days. According to police, the homicides now this year by people with guns.
Portland police say they are still investigating this.
Portland full of them Ku Klux communists. Yeah, we're gonna summarize it. So, in Portland, Oregon, which is the largest white majority city in the United States, if you didn't know, it's almost 80% white with almost 1 million people. So there was a protest that was supposed to be in honor of Dante Wright and Amir Locke, who were murdered by pigs. And essentially these, Ku Klux communists, white liberal protesters were in Portland, because Portland is full of them, and they were setting up for the march that was going to begin at 8, but at 8:01 apparently they got in an argument with an armed homeowner. Now, I don't know how they didn't arrest no one, because I'm assuming the armed homeowner was in front of their home, but I guess they just let them go, because I can't be a secret who they are. But yes, so they apparently got into an argument and started shooting. Now, apparently the protesters were armed too. They clearly weren't armed that well, because 5 against 1 and on one side. That I kind of don't understand. But then one of them was killed. I tried looking it up. It was like something very, very white. It was like June like Daisy Nin or something. I don't know, something. Her name was June, and then something white too. I don't know. But yeah, so she got killed by this armed homeowner. And I'm assuming it's a self-defense thing, because they were armed protesters. They probably took out their weapons for no reason. They were like, you were going to set up these balloons, and you were going to like it. And they took out their weapons or something. I don't know. But clearly it was disorganized to the point that one of them died. And for what? A liberal march at a park full of white people? It's very pointless and a useless waste of a life. That life could have been used to, get resources for colonized people, to get reparations for colonized people, to, just push anti-colonialism. Why not? But of course, because the material interests of the people weren't held in mind, they just did their own Ku Klux communist thing. And look what happened to them. Same thing happens with Antifa, who gets their behinds kicked by, Proud Boys and kicked into ditches in the middle of, Colorado Springs. The same thing happens to all these, liberal Democrats, people, even the BLMers, those super liberal BLMers who, randomly take people on marches to take down statues and then get surprised when they're surrounded by pigs and get punched in the face. I don't know. Shouldn't be that big of a surprise. So, yeah, that's what happened. And, yeah, these Ku Klux communists have to stop. Even if they are surrounded by each other, Portland has colonized people and it's on colonized land. It ain't you. You ain't the leadership. Like a fourth principle says, poor and working class colonized people are the true leadership against white supremacy, imperialism, capitalism, colonialism, and all of its symptomatic offspring. The Ku Klux Communists, you are not the leaders. You will never be the leader. And look at what your leadership gets you. It not only gets us killed, it gets you killed. And if you want a world where we protect ourselves as colonized people and in the process end up protecting you, then you should unite with Black Hammer and unite with anti-colonial revolution. Or you could just be a hater buying a stamp, like QC said. Which one is it? Pick a side, because that angry homeowner probably would like us a lot more than they would like you, clearly. Man back. Let's talk about it, Watakami.
Yes. I'm just going to put this right down. No, land back. I fully unite. Like you said, 100% would like us a lot better. Because, yeah, this is just what happens every time. These, like you said, these Ku Klux communists, try to do anything, right? And I think, the thing that makes me angriest is that white person is gonna die and they all died for Dante Wright, right, and for Amir Locke, in the name of them or whatever, when really it was just white people using colonized people for their own gain, right? To be oh, we care about civil rights, oh, we care about colonized people's lives, so blah, blah, blah. We die for you, it's gonna that's the rhetoric that's going to be pushed, is that she died for colonized people. But it's you died because you're dumb and you don't know how to have a plan of action. You don't know how to stay off private property, and you don't know how to aim or duck. You don't know how to it's have you ever heard of a range? I don't know. Have you ever heard of ducking, running zigzag, homie? These are, basic things. If you're going to be armed, to be smart about it. If you're going to go somewhere armed, expecting a fight, or to be, to have your weapons, out on display, just be smart about it. Because, this time, it was another one of them who died, so, I don't really care. But they tend to do this when there are colonized people around, and that's when our people get killed, right? We saw all of summer 2020, right? Where it was these white liberals, these white leftists who were going out, quote unquote, in the name of colonized people killed by the pigs, and they started the riots, they started burning down, they started all of this, and it was our people who got arrested, it was our people who got killed, it was our people who suffered the most, and they got to go home and say, I did it, I was part of it, I did something, I matter. No, you don't. You're literally the problem. You're no different than the pig that pulls the trigger. You're no different than the pig that sits on people. You're no different than them. And if that makes you hate yourself, I'll say it again, you're no different than them. Hate yourself for it and do something about it and fall under the leadership of the poor working class colonized people, because that's the only way your life will even have a semblance of relevance to this world. That's it. I don't care. That's the thing. June, July, April, I don't care what your name is, bro. And your family and your loved ones, shut up and pay reparations. Blame back.
And another thing, it was Seattle, Portland, same thing, where they killed those two African children at the CHOP, at the Chaz, the Capitol Hill Time in the Zone. Chaz. It was Chaz. And it just shows that y'all have better aim for us than you do for the real enemy. Alright, go ahead, Ren.
I'm back, y'all. Yes, exactly, Virgil. The Hammers did not come to play with you, colonizer. Wannabe martyrs. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They want to be martyrs. That's all that they want to be. They're like, I died for y'all, right? Like, that's the one thing that my life matters. To make my life matters. Because I want to make your life matter. And that's so grimy. That's so belittling to colonize people, as if we don't already know what our life is, and that we don't already know what it takes to have dictatorship over it. We already are aware of it, right? So, and that's what we're doing here in Black Hammer, is making sure that not only do we know it, but other poor working class colonized people on the street know it. Because every day we talk to somebody and they're always saying things like, this life is hard. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. What is wrong with me? Why am I out here? And we are the ones that tell them, nothing's wrong with you. Nothing. You are a beautiful person. We are champions, as CIC has said over and over again. You are champions, and you deserve so much better. It's not because of anything to do with you. It's a system that continues to belittle us, and those Ku Klux communists are adding on the toppings, are just making that even worse for our people, because they're saying that they are the ones that have to be the martyrs for this, as if their lives actually matter to us. No, they don't. Sorry, they do not. Lord, it's really hard to whisper, y'all. So I'm gonna pass it off to Chief G. Breakdown.
I'm back. Man, this is like the same old story of all of these like liberal Antifa types that just come into like our communities and just screw everything up. Like, even if this wasn't whatever community it was, right? Like, it was a protest about our people, right? Like, it's not on like you. I don't care about like what you have to say or what banner you want to write about what happens to my people. Is the poor working class kind of people, is us that will have that will decide what needs to be done, because we actually know how to get things done, and not just go out there like without a plan, just like showing guns around, just because you wanna feel less guilty about your existence, bro. Like, that's what all these like white leftists do. It's just like tweet, write articles, and put up a sign to get sort of like validation from each other. Like, it's the same group of people getting validation from each other because they went out to a protest and they wrote a tweet. They don't know the names of our people like out there struggling. They don't spread the word to them. They don't care about what the actual leadership, the colonist poor working class, has to say about the world and what needs to be done, right? So yeah, I'm done with them. They just keep making things worse for everyone, even for themselves. Apparently, like they die in trying to do this performative crap. So yeah, I'm back to Oju.
Thank you. Can I get those? So make sure that, if you're a colonized person, that you cut the cord from these, Ku Klux communists. I love being cringy for my comrades. Yes, cut the cord, because we want to cut the cord from the entirety of white supremacy in this colonial system, and that includes them. It includes them, unless they want to commit national suicide and side with poor working class colonies people under their leadership. Alright? So cut the cord. Hashtag cut the cord in the comments. Alright. Let's have a little ASMR break. Just to, have some more ear tinglies. Y'all, people really be liking this ASMR stuff. I know you don't, but there's a whole world out there that be paying for things, like certain sounds and everything. It's wild. It's wild, y'all. Those are some other sounds. Alright, lay back. Let's get to our next topic, G.
Well, while truck drivers protest COVID restrictions in Canada, American truckers say they may follow suit with their own cross-country convoy heading right to Washington, D.C. Concerns about the impact are heightened with this State of the Union address set less than 2 weeks away. Correspondent Evan Lambert is live in D.C. So, Evan, how is our nation's capital responding?
Nicole, police here in the nation's capital are on high alert. Multiple sources describing to News Nation what the response plan would look like if similar protests come here to D.C. Now, we should note that there is always an increased police presence ahead of and after the State of the Union, but sources telling us this time it is bigger. D.C. police canceling time off for officers. That begins February 22nd and goes until March 5th. On Wednesday, as many as 500 officers per day will join civil disturbance units to respond to any protests. An additional 200 or so officers will work traffic duty, including detectives that would otherwise be investigating crimes. Now, this follows those weeks of protests in Canada and blockades even. Now, it's unclear exactly if this will happen, if it'll come to D.C., and how large a trucker convoy would be. But on Facebook, there are screenshots showing a February 23rd departure date. Also, the Department of Homeland Security warning that a convoy similar to this could come here and possibly disrupt the State of the Union. The police chief here in D.C. responded to this today, saying what happened in Canada and also being overwhelmed on January 6th, that plays into this increased police presence.
I mean, we think about all those things with any demonstration that we have here, any First Amendment, any riot. Those are all lessons learned, and we'd be foolish not to. So those are certainly things that we take in consideration for possibilities that we may see here in our city, and we plan accordingly.
And both D.C. police and the National Park Service tell us that there are no permits that have been applied for any of these trucker groups. Nicole?
All right. So, Evan, with officers being reassigned, is there any concern this will take police attention from other crimes?
Nicole, there have been some rumblings about that among the police source, but the sources that I've been talking to really say because of the cancellation of leave and time off, that opens people up to be able to respond to other things. So really, it's kind of an all hands on deck situation here in preparation of what might be coming. Nicole?
All right. Evan Lambert, thank you for
Evan Lambert, when they talk about like what the average American would look like in 2070, and then combine all the DNA and put it in one person. That's what he kind of looked like, didn't he? Didn't he look like that, y'all? Like he's the combination of every single race together, and that's like how all humans will look like, apparently, according to white people, because they think that we all gonna mix to the point that literally it's like a bucket of paint and we'll all just be one color. Goodness gracious. All right, but yeah, he looked like that. Anyway, laying back, and so we got another freedom convoy, y'all. Hey. Another freedom convoy going to D.C. again, well, the last time some freedom fighters went to D.C., it was January 6th, and the whole Capitol was breached. And they were all up in the offices and took the podiums, and they're still charging people now. But now we got this freedom convoy, and if we know anything from what happened in Canada, at least in Canada, it took them 2.5 weeks to get rid of them. They just got rid of them yesterday. Man, Canadians suck. Yeah, it's only because they wanted. Yes. But here, I don't know how long it will last here. Probably a little bit longer than a day. I think it'd be longer than a day, because they are risking another insurrection, and this time with trucks. Trucks can get into places much more easily than a person can. So, I'm not sure if you heard that sound, but it wasn't the best sound, but it was a great sound at the same time. So, yes, so this freedom convoy is coming, and so what are we gonna do about it? What are you excited for this freedom convoy, Watakami, or you want Ren to go first? All right, go ahead, Watakami.
I'm back. I can go. It's really funny when G loses control of the laugh, because it sounds like that every single time. No, I think this is wonderful, just seeing all of these patterns that are very predictable if you study history. And it makes me really excited about what's to come, because we see yes, self-critical for that sound that exited Chief G's mouth. It was not ASMR friendly. They'll make up for it when they talk. No, but yeah, people rising up, right? For what they want and for what they believe. Also, did y'all notice that Homeboy at the beginning was used riot and the First Amendment interchangeably? He said, when stuff about the First Amendment and riots happen, we gotta get prepared. They're not even trying to hide it, y'all. They're not even trying to hide it. They're changing the language so that we get used to it, right? And so that the courts get used to it, and so that it changes the perception of people exercising their First Amendment rights as rioting. And we've known, right, there's, at least me growing up, there's been a clear demarcation of what is First Amendment right, what is the freedom of speech versus what is a riot. And they're using them interchangeably so that they can respond to them interchangeably. So they get to decide when it's a riot and when it's a protest and when it's a freedom of assembly, right? That way they again are in control of even the crumbs of rights that they've given us. So I think that's really interesting. And I think that's gonna, force these freedom convoyers, truckers, I don't know. Freedom it's gonna force the people to come up with their own terms and to fight for their own terms and to do things their way, because the masses of the people are gonna start to realize that there's more of us than there is of them. We got more trucks than they got extra pigs or police officers. Because they're forcing all of these police officers into overtime, into no time off and stuff like that. When do they not realize that also most of their police force is on the side of the truckers? Did they not realize that probably the reason they had requested time off is so that they could be in the convoy? I wonder if they're gonna pull a Hannah Montana and switch midway. Where can I go change my uniform?
I think they say their wigs.
Oh, their wigs. Uniform, the same thing. The wig is the uniform. Don't get it twisted. Different person. She gets into character, okay? Whatever. But yeah, are they gonna switch midway? And it's oh, this is my black and white versus this is my Toyota Tacoma. Which car are they taking? We'll find out. And I think we'll see also which of them actually take the extra time assignment and which of them quit to fight for their rights. We'll see. Will it be Miley or Hannah?
think it's going to be Miley.
Wait, is Miley the police officers?
I was thinking Miley was the truckers, because that's the country
from Nashville.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And and Hannah is the police officers, because that's what's more appealing to the public, and that's the persona. That's what makes the bucks. But on the inside, it's always Miley. It's always the truckers.
Hashtag best of both worlds.
Land back.
Can y'all tell who's the Hannah Montana fans in here? Number one fan over here.
That was my first concert ever. I'm not ashamed. I was 9.
First concert. Okay. No, I'll land back, y'all. Yes, no, I think that this is a beautiful thing. And I think to go off of what you were saying with Chief Oju about the, why Canada decided to finally disperse, what was happening and everything. Oh my God, Virgil, you all right? You got a friend? But nah. The reason why I think Canada decided to do that is because they started to the U.S. started to throw a fit, because the U.S. was starting to see the effects of their stock market, their what is the word?
The trade.
Yeah, the trade, right? Like how much stuff was able to come in, right? They were starting to see like the effects of all of that, right? And they were like, no, like you gotta take care of this, right? It came from, like, it wasn't hidden. It was literally said by, like, I think the Secretary of State, like, hey, Canada, what you doing? Take care of these people. Sorry, y'all. But yes. And that's the power, right? Like, Canada is just the US's little B word, okay? Like that's all that Canada really is. They just follow orders from the US. So when, I do think that it will be interesting to see what happens. I do think that it was definitely a prevention plan for them to say that nobody can take time off, because I think they did find out that some of the freedom fighters were officers. They did find out that, afterwards. So, from January 6th. So, they're making sure that that's not going to happen again. That, they don't have to fire more and more pigs. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I really do hope that they, I feel like Canada, one thing that they do have on them is how well organized they were. They, like, convoys started in multiple cities and then joined together in Ottawa. Okay, I was like gonna say Otoma or something. Ottawa. So yes, they were able to organize to get to one centralized spot. I really hope that these truckers are just as organized, but we'll see. Land back.
Yes, Frederick Douglass, land back. Welcome. Yes, it is right in New York's backyard, right? And it's so close. There was the whole thing at the Detroit-Windsor border, and these truckers who are going to DC, they're probably gonna come from a bunch of cities too. You're right. They were very organized. They had a whole tent with medicine and food set up, and they had like art stations even. Right? People think that people who are conservative don't do art, and look at, see, like, yes, our freedom fighters are creative and they're organized, unlike these Ku Klux Klaners that get shot. All right, go ahead, Chief G.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, no, I want to salute all these truckers. They're doing a great job, and I cannot wait for them to pull up to DC. I was gonna say, oh yeah, so I think right now, especially like it in this like whole crisis of like supply chain and everything, truckers hold a lot of political power. And yeah, like I'm interested to see like how all these immigrants are even gonna react, because like they understand what they're doing. They understand what they're doing wrong. So they're just kind of gonna like get stumble on their words when like they hear like a big chunk of the country demand what's right, which is having dictatorship over their lives and bodies, so yeah, again, it's just another example that being organized, and fighting for what's right, fighting for our self-determination, is the only thing that's worth doing. And these white leftists do not understand that, and they never will, which is why we side with the right and with the Proud Boys, because they know how to organize. They know how to take actual action, and not just walk around, so yeah, I'm back.
I'm back. Yes, I'm very excited for the DC convoy. Hopefully they don't stop it. Hopefully they don't end it. I want to at least last one day. It only took one day for January 6th. It can take a day for February 23rd, tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see what day it is. But I'm excited. All right, before we go to our last topic, we have to do a little ASMR break. At Black Camera, we believe in COVID safety and COVID care. So make sure you're using hand sanitizer, especially after, using your keys and, using your phone. Bring it a little closer. Macaroni in a pot. All right, laying back. Let's go to our last topic, Chief G.
It's the #1 show on Netflix, The Tinder Swindler, a documentary about an alleged dating app con man. Well, now the man facing those allegations that he tried to pull off the scam is speaking exclusively with Inside Edition.
World exclusive. It's the so-called Tinder Swindler. He's at the center of the shocking Netflix documentary seen by more than 50 million people worldwide. And he's speaking out for the first time only to Inside Edition.
Work hard, play hard.
He allegedly lured women with private jets, yachts, and fancy cars. His say he swindled them out of hundreds of thousands of dollars.
He's a professional. He does this for a living.
These are serious allegations against you.
Who is the man now known throughout the world as the Tinder Swindler?
I was just a single guy that wanted to meet some girls on Tinder. I am not a Tinder Swindler.
Where we found him today, out of hiding, and why his new model girlfriend is sticking with him. Watch the next Inside Edition.
That preview was a lot. That was just the preview. We didn't even hear from him like that much. He just said, "I like cars and women." So, yes, if you haven't watched it, I haven't watched the documentary yet because, I gotta get the Netflix password again from somebody. That's because, poor working class. So, yes, so his name is Simon Leviev. He's from Israel? Yeah, he's from Israel. In Palestine.
There you go.
But yes, so apparently he has been swindling and swiping, like Swiper the Fox, hundreds of thousands of dollars from all these blonde white women. Maybe not just blonde, maybe they only put the blondes in the documentary so you feel bad. But apparently all these women he took their money just because he was dating them on Tinder. So if you don't know Tinder, it's an app where you swipe and find strangers to hook up with. And apparently these people decided, I'm not only going to hook up with them, I'm going to give them thousands of dollars. Like a backward payment. you know. So yes, so he got caught. He got caught a couple times. He actually went to jail twice already, in 2 different countries, and now he's still wanted in multiple countries. Um, but clearly not wanted enough because he's doing interviews with Inside of Hollywood, Inside Edition. Um, and so, yeah, it's interesting because people like who are colonizers running these companies, running these nations, they steal from people all the time, but we don't get documentaries about them. We don't get documentaries about, Obama stealing and droning. We don't get, documentaries about, oil companies stealing and droning. We don't get documentaries about, United Fruit or Dole Fruit, stealing and droning and all that stuff. But we get this one about this one. It's supposed to be sensational, right? And like a thing like an anomaly. Like, whoa, someone got tricked into getting all their money taken from them. Whoa, I never heard of that. When it happens to poor Cascanas people every second, literally, like our bank accounts get overdrafted every second. We get debt builds up every second, taxes build up every second, and so, the true swindling is the colonizer against colonized people. They're the true thieves. And yes, we want a documentary about that instead, Netflix, but Netflix ain't gonna make that. They're too worried about, staying woke and being liberal and canceling Dave Chappelle, who actually isn't canceled. We just got 4 more specials. So good job on, working against that liberal woke nonsense, Netflix. All right, what you thinking, Watakami, about the Tinder Swindler, who I kept calling the Tinder Swindler because I kept messing it up. I typed it up as Tinder, and it's Tinder. I don't know those straight apps, yo. I mean, I know it's not for just straight people, but I'm old enough to have, the other ones, like, the gay ones. All right. Okay. Go ahead, Watakami.
Yeah, let me take this.
Please take it away.
Anyways, I think this is hilarious. Which I'm not sure if that was the point of this documentary, but to me it's hilarious. 'Cause like, I got one question for all the people who got swindled. What the hell? That's my question. My next question is, how the fuck? Because also, what? It's just too funny. Okay, I have to control myself because I have to whisper. But every time, this is not even my first time hearing this story, and I crack up every single time. It is so funny because thousands of dollars,
Hundreds of thousands.
from like thousands of dollars from individuals, like these women were so, and like it gets kind of sad when you start to think about it, 'Cause it's like you're so desperate for love and attention and all of these things. I mean, most of them were white, which is also something to note. I didn't see not one colonized woman up in there. Because we're smarter than that. And even if some of us did get swindled, they were smart enough not to go on Netflix. Even if colonized women did get swindled, they took the L humbly and walked away. But I don't think any of them did, for the record. Because, I don't even know, it was like, oh, I need money for this, whatever. Will you sign a loan for me, right? It was like something like that. And it's like, y'all won't even do that for your family, but you're going to do it for a Tinder match? You won't sign a loan with your family, like your parents, like your mom. You're like, sorry, figure it out. But you're going to do it with her to get laid? That's sad. That's sad. And to get laid by a white man. God. That looks like that. The shame. I think that's the biggest shame. Not even that you got swindled, but that you got swindled for that. That's the real crime. It's just, but also, homie, it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, apparently. Because he's got all this money. And, his girlfriend is sticking with him. And I'm sure it's because he got all the money. You know, like I don't even know. Like it's just probably paying him off.
The swindler's getting swindled.
Next thing you know, she's gonna have like the clean, and it's gonna be clean money because she's gonna get it from him. You know, and like it doesn't matter where he got it from. Or maybe they're in on it together because then she can take the money. He'll do a couple years in jail, and then they get out and they both have the money. If that happens, I hope she does leave, and he gets like the swindlest swindled, like the swindliest of swindles, like, because that would just be hilarious. But yeah, overall, my overall thoughts are this is really funny, and it cracks me up every single time. That's all. I'm back.
All right. Ren, would you have gotten swindled? Let us know.
Absolutely not. No. Negative. Would I have swindled? Yes. I would have hypothetically, allegedly. And I say that only to say, like, if you can, you know, yeah, that's it. But, you know, for a colonizer to do that, that is just, you know, that's just colonialism, right? That's just him continuing to reap the benefits of being a white man, right? And yes, even if he's trash. Is that what you said? Oh, okay. Well, he does not look great.
It's okay. Keep going.
I did not hear correctly. My apologies. But
go ahead.
I'm back. Yeah, I want to ask the same questions as what the guy made. Like, how, like, to be honest, I'm kind of gonna put a lot of the blame on the swindlee. I don't know how you say that. But like, first of all, you just got like, people just got like 20K to like drop to someone that you meet on Tinder. Like, bro, like I would not even pay for an Uber for someone to come over. I would not even do that. And like people are just dropping 20K plus on like this guy. Yeah, like it's just, you know, like at that point it's just like crime between rich people and I don't care about it. It's just really funny. But yeah, you know, like this is just another example, right? Like how, like Ojo was saying, right? Like our people, like our people get stolen so much from us, and those who do like never get like the justice that they deserve, and at the same time, our people get blamed for it. You know, like people that don't even like honest people that aren't even guilty, like they get blamed for stealing all of these resources when in reality it's white power. It's all these liberals, all these Democrats, all these mayors, all these corrupt politicians in Chicago that are actually looting all people, that are, you know, stealing like everything, every single thing from us, not just an extra 20K that you hand to your bank account. They're like scraping everything out of us. So yeah, like, you know, the only solution is for all of us to come together and, you know, get it all back. Get it all back because it's ours. So if you colonize, join at blackhammer.org/join. But yeah, I'm back.
Yes, you can continue, Minister Rand.
thank you for y'all's patience. I'm back now. Yes, no, I think what I was going to say was that, you know, I think it's what off of what you were saying, right, is that people get their IDs, their credit card, things like that taken, especially colonized people, stolen all the time. And where are the shows for that, right? Where are the people? Where are the shows? Where's the information, right? To make sure that people that does not happen to them, right? And like G was saying, right, like that is just because the colony doesn't care, right? They don't care whether or not, you know, this was a few $100,000 from individual people, right? Most of them white, blonde women, whatever. And the people whose identities are stolen, people will go and buy like whole cars, whole houses, things like that, using their information. And, you know, it takes, excuse me, it sometimes takes years, right, for them to actually be able to fight and like be like, no, this is not me. And their credit just plummets. And it can take forever for them to actually get it back. So, and that's the, you know, these are just ways that the colony continues to fight against and put down our people all the time. Yeah, so I wanted to point that out. And also that, you know, these, like what Takama was saying and other people were saying, like these people have so much money that this is just, you know, easy for them, right? It reminds me of like when we're, you know, when we're like, you know, out doing Robin Hood and stuff, like how people just give us like there are certain people who just give us like 20 like it's nothing, and then there are people who are like, yeah, you know, like poor working, like there are people who are like struggling, but they're still like, yeah, I love what you're doing and I appreciate it, and they still are willing to try to give. Then there's people who like are like, oh yeah, here, get out of my face. And these are the people who are like, get out of my face, you know, like, and it's disgusting to see, because they don't care about anything else. They just see their own problems, and they don't really want to do anything, right, to make, they only care about fixing their own things, not anybody else's. And that's what we're here to do, is make sure that everybody has dictatorship over their lives and labor and resources, so that we actually have say and can fix things. So yeah, I'm back.
Alright, yes, I'm back. If you want to be in a world where, you know, no one's exploiting each other, and that you have, you know, freedom from this debt, freedom from these bills, freedom from people, because those are swindles too. You know, that electric bill, it's a swindle. That water bill is a swindle. That gas bill is a swindle, because all that stuff belongs to you already, and you're just paying people back for stuff that's already yours. So if you want to end the ultimate swindle, you need to join the revolution and join the Black Hammer Party at blackhammer.org/join. Alright? Yes, I'm back. I'm a little still stuck on how G said they wouldn't even pay for an Uber. That's
I unite with that.
Wow. So G, you type you hosting? Is that what you type in these apps? You hosting because you're only paying for your own Uber? I see now. Now opening up your home. G said, "Can you pick me up?" That's what they say.
That's not safe.
And it's not safe. It's not safe.
Be defense-minded in your Tinder dealings.
Yes, be really actually be defense-minded in your Tinder dealings and your app dealings. Yeah, it's crazy out here. G has a lot to talk about. They don't even have the mic. They're ready to go. You want to talk about it?
Talk about your dating.
I just remembered about the one like the one woman that got like murdered like today in Chicago. Or what wasn't it? Was it? Or where was it?
Oh, the white woman who got strangled last week.
Yeah, last week or something like that. Because he went on some like Tinder day or whatever. So it'd be dangerous out there. So, yeah, like it's crazy out. So be safe, y'all. Especially if you colonize. Don't go to some white man's house just like that, please. I'm back.
Yeah, for us, gonna talk about that woman, the African woman, that's killed by that white man, or, you know, they're saying he didn't do it, you know, that she was just there. But, you know, Cardi B is even saying, like, open up this investigation and, like, let's look into this because
He reported her dead in his bed.
yeah,
They didn't investigate him.
exactly. She was found dead in his bed, and like, nah, we won't investigate. Which again shows how powerful these swindlers are. They're swindling the justice system. They're swindling all these systems. It's all just tricks that they're doing, and it's not about us getting in on the tricks, but stopping the show altogether because we keep being victims in this show unwillingly. And so, yes, join the revolution. blackhammer.org/join. All right. You should also donate. You should donate to the Chicago chapter, and you could donate how many?
5 for shy.
5 for shy.
5 for shy.
Ooh, yes. 5 for shy. Donate $5 to the Chicago chapter so we can continue getting supplies for the people for winter and keep on serving our people until the spring, because the stuff from colonialism doesn't stop. Even when it does melt, even when the snow does melt and the ice starts stripping away, it's still colonialism until we defeat it through revolution. So donate to our Cash App, Black Hammer Shy, or Venmo, Shy Hammers. And that's Shy, C-H-I, and Hammers with an S. Alright, let's get into our announcements. Make sure you watch the Revolutionary Church every Sunday on Facebook Live at the Black Hammer Org Facebook, and catch a recording of it on this YouTube channel, Black Hammer TV. Alright, every week. And make sure you call 404-658-6618, extension 5, to get the charges dropped on our hammers in Atlanta who are doing the Revolutionary Church. Let's make sure that they're able to keep on doing that work. And then next week, possibly, is the Revolutionary Book Trap. And we are reading pages 175 to 197. Are you excited about the comment?
I'm so excited to be back into the book trap and to get to read all of y'all's read that backs again.
Yes, so make sure you drop your read that back in the comments when the time comes, alright? You can find the book at blackhammer.org/library. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed all the ear tinglies from, our sultry voices in the Hammer Hotel, to, the ear tinglies of all our little ASMR items. Like I said before, if you got a sound you want to hear, as long as it is legal and okay to put on YouTube, then we'll do it, alright? What sounds illegal? Well, maybe the sound's not illegal, but the thing to show, and I don't think you can even hide what you're making sounds with. There's lots of things that can make sounds, and we can't show them all.
No, I forgot. I retract my question.
The X has been retracted. All right. So yes, land back, everybody. Make sure you follow and subscribe and keep on sharing this video. All right. And we'll get your sounds in the comments later. And make sure you donate to the Chicago chapter at Shy Hammers on Cash App. All right. Or Black Hammer Shy on Cash App. Shy Hammers on Venmo. All right. Land back, everybody.